Hey, how you doing? It's that time of year again, where Hollywood comes together to give awards to all the films made within a year. Now, some we've seen, most we haven't. But whether you're a cinephile who watched every single one, a casual who didn't get the chance to watch every single one, or just a degenerate that clicked onto this video because you saw how to make money in the title, I watched all 10 of the Best Picture nominations so you didn't have to. And you may be asking, what are my qualifications to speak on such a matter? And for starters, I've made around 10 true independent short films, so I know ass when I see it. And also, one of my friends gave me this Oscar right here. Don't ask why, just accept it. The categories that I will be covering today are Best Picture, Best Cinematography, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. The reason why I'm only covering those 6 is because those are the ones that I feel as though I have the best feel for, so my opinion will be able to resonate a little bit more and be closely related to what the actual outcome would be. And the reason why we're only watching the 10 Best Picture nominations is because those 10 movies basically dominated those categories. Now, there are a few omissions, that being Rustin, Niad, and El Conde. Those movies did get nominated within those categories, but the way I saw it, the odds were already bad enough as is, and I didn't want to waste more time. So starting off, I ranked the 10 Best Picture nominations. Coming in hot at number 10 is The Zone of Interest. Now let me preface this by saying, I couldn't give two shits if you agree with me or not. And right now, as it stands, The Zone of Interest has the 4th best odds to win Best Picture, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. Now, while the movie is expertly crafted, it is beautiful. The cinematography of it is great. The actual production design, the costuming, everything from a technical aspect is very well done, very monumental. But in my opinion, I feel as though it commits the cardinal sin of entertainment. It is an extremely boring movie. Basically speaking, it is another Holocaust movie that was made for the sole reason of trying to garner awards, it being an Oscar baity movie. But in the midst of all that, it misses out on what makes some of the other Holocaust movies so important and so meaningful. Those say something that is new and or fresh. The Zone of Interest does not have any fresh topics. It does not have any worthwhile point of views, and it adds nothing. And I feel as though it only got nominated because it's just a expertly crafted Holocaust movie. Next up at number 9 is Maestro. Now, for this one, the sports books do agree with me, giving it the 9th best odds to win Best Picture. It is a movie that can simply be described as eccentric yet pretentious. It is a biopic that, instead of focusing on one specific story in this person's life, tries to encapsulate their rise to fame and greatness all in 1.5 hour span. And while at times I do feel as though the movie drags, I still feel as though there wasn't enough of focus on specificity for it to really move forward with me. I think Family Guy puts it best.
Fine actor. Did not like the movie.
Why not?
Couldn't get into it.
Explain yourself. What didn't you like about it?
It insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
Now, with that being said, the makeup and hairstyling was definitely on point. That is an award that I feel as though they do have a really good chance of winning. It really did transport me to that time and that environment. Now, speaking of Bradley Cooper's performance, which he spent, I think, 6 to 7 years learning how to conduct, you can tell. He gives his all into this performance, and it just happened at such a bad time with different actors that we will talk about later. But also, Carey Mulligan puts in a worthwhile performance, and I feel as though she was great as well. Maestro may come away with maybe one award for the night, but that's probably all they'll walk away with. Coming in at number 8, Anatomy of a Fall. Now, I had the pleasure of watching this film on Discord with one of my friends, and it can be described simply with one sentence. I don't know what you heard about me, but I'm a motherfucking PIMP. No, seriously, they played that song throughout the entire movie, and somehow, some way, every time they played it, it got funnier and funnier. Currently sitting with the 5th best odds to win Best Picture, we slightly disagree in this sense. Now, at its core, this movie was a gripping legal drama with amazing, and like it cannot be understated, amazing acting from Sandra Huller and Lil Bobo that was her deaf kid. They were simply amazing. The only gripe that I had with the movie is that in some ways, it felt as though it was made in the 90s for the 90s. It felt slightly out of date with the visuals that were being shown for the movie, especially when you compare it to the 9 other films that it is currently going against. It feels as though it looks outdated. It moves at a slower pace than some of the others, and that can contribute to the entertainment factor dropping in it slightly. And with the way that the legal drama played out for me, it just landed in spot 8 compared to some of the other films. But on a side note, I do want to make note of one scene in the courtroom where the lawyer was going back and forth with the counsel, and every single time they would just walk around the kid. That shot was amazing. It was amazing, and that was probably the best sequence in the entire movie. Now we're moving into the films that I vehemently enjoyed. At number 7, Past Lives, with the current 10th best odds to win Best Picture. Now, before anything else, let me just get this off my chest. Arthur was a fucking cuck. There is no way in hell that I'm letting my wife of multiple years go out on unsupervised dates with her first love. Like, miss me with all that healthy bullshit that, oh, you need to give us... No, he was a full grade A cuck. And literally, they were sitting there talking in their mother tongue, talking shit about this guy in front of his face. And at the end of the night, when he leaves, nah, dog. She come crying into your arms about her first love leaving her. Outside of that, really well put together story. It made me feel something. Never got bored at no point throughout the movie. Very entertaining, very gripping. The only downfall and or gripe that I do have with it is the fact that it's solid at best. Simply put, it just got outclassed by the top 6 in this year's film category. At 6, we have the film that I relate to the most, American Fiction. With the 8th best odds, it perfectly reflects the plight of the black auteur in today's world. And as they try to navigate these different spaces, how we have the inability to tell stories about black folks being black folks. Instead, we have to sensationalize it and generalize it, making it more into stereotypes so that people of other cultures can indulge and enjoy content that is being made by us. For starters, all of the acting performances in the story was monumental. It was amazing. Jeffrey Wright was great. It's just very sad that he's a long shot to win Best Actor given the class that we have this year. But specifically speaking, I do want to give out a message to Sterling K. Brown. If you are watching, I watched your roundtable of you talking about your imposter syndrome with your name being up there with so many others in the Best Supporting Actor category, the De Niros, the Goslings, the Robert Downeys, the Mark Ruffalos. And the one thing I really want to say to you is, not only do you belong, but man, you were trading blows with some of the heavyweights in Hollywood in this category. The amount of layers that your character had in American Fiction was immense. And at no point did it ever feel heavy-handed. At no point did it ever feel unnatural. You were simply put amazing. And I truly hope that you are able to take as much high-level work as you want moving forward with every single studio head being turned to you, because you are a star in today's industry. And I doubt that you even hear this message, but that one is specifically for you. In all, I do think that American Fiction wins Best Adapted Screenplay, but sadly, I doubt it makes any noise for Best Picture. Now moving to the halfway mark, we have Barbie at 5, with the 6th best odds to win Best Picture. Now, as you can tell, this movie did change my life. Before it released, I already decided that I was going to unironically adapt Ryan Gosling's King character into my personality repertoire, no matter how it unfolded. But when the movie dropped, I unironically realized that he was me. Now, if you can't tell already, I think he stole the show the entire way. And I'm just sad that Best Supporting Actor this year is extremely crowded with so many great performances, even though he still finds a way to stand out. Also, nominated for Best Supporting Actress was American Ferrera, who did an amazing job being the mouthpiece for the movie, being able to get over some of the themes, some of the ideas that the story had to say, and all the things that I wanted to offer in non-heavy-handed ways. She was very naturalistic, and she was also very, very good in the movie as well. But honestly, this film had about everything that you could possibly want from a movie that was based on such a simple IP. I doubt it makes any noise in the Best Picture race. Now, as we move into the top four, I need to let y'all know that these four films all restored the feeling. They made movie watching feel like an experience again. At 4, with the third best odds to win Best Picture, is The Holdovers. Now, simply put, this is just a film that does everything right. From top to bottom, it's a movie about finding your place in life and also trying to move forward. And even with all the acting performances, there's so many standout performances. You have Divine Joy Randolph, who was amazing. She looks to be a slam dunk winner in the Best Supporting Actress category, and rightfully so. She balled the fuck out. You have Paul Giamatti looking to be the runner-up in Best Actor, which, as much as it pains me to say because he was so amazing, and also a breakout role from Dominic Sessa as a supporting actor, Angus Tully. He was great throughout the entire movie. There's not a lot that I can even say about this film because it's definitely one of the ones that restored the feeling for me. That was the only way that I could describe it to friends. It was the only way that I could describe it to anyone. I just implore you to really go watch this movie. Even though I don't feel as though it will win Best Picture this year, it definitely won my heart over. At 3, with the second best odds to win Best Picture, we have Poor Things. Now, I'm not gonna lie. That movie was basically softcore porn labeled as art. I ain't gonna lie, it was definitely art. But it was also definitely porn. And even after watching it, I have no clue if it was about a woman trying to find her place in medieval Victorian time, finding out how cruel and despicable the world is, or just a woman trying to find a woman's journey or adventure throughout the entire world, or if it was just a funny ass movie that wanted to vibe. Couldn't tell you what it was whatsoever, but what I could tell you is that shit was fire. Mark Ruffalo was definitely the MVP of this film. He put his whole refussy into this role, from top to bottom, from the second that he stepped on screen to the second that he stepped out of screen, completely committed to the bit. It makes me very sad that Best Supporting Actor is as crowded as it is, because any other year, he would definitely make a lot of noise in that category. Hell, all 5 of the guys in the category this year would make a lot of noise if they weren't stacked up against each other. And with that being said, I just don't think his zany character was immaculate enough to snatch the glory out of some of the other actors' mouths that we will be talking about later. But Emma Stone was amazing. I gotta think of new adjectives, honestly, to even talk about what her role was in that movie. She was inspirational. Watching her grow from a mentally challenged, basically newborn woman all the way into a philosopher, an entire doctor, mesmerizing. She was... You can't even find the words to talk about what she was. All you could really say at the end of the day is that shit was fire. The only thing is, I just can't get over the image of her getting down on her knees and then getting like real shit. I'm looking at Mark Ruffalo Emma Stone for at least the first 20 minutes of the goddamn movie. Okay, at 2, with somehow the 7th best odds to win Best Picture, is Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, not only is this a very important story, a story that's rarely ever been told, from a world-renowned director with acting performances, the best acting performances from this side to Mississippi. Not only the fact that this movie was 3.5 hours long, but at no point felt boring, felt long. Hell, it even felt shorter than some of the other shits on this list. It completely befuddles me. It bewilders me. Why this is all the way down at the 7th best odds. I can almost guarantee you, in the future, this movie will have lasting effects on cinema. While some of these other 10 movies will not be remembered, will not stand the test of time, Killers of the Flower Moon 20 years from now is going to be something that we still talk about to that day. It is important. It is immaculate. It is great. It tells a story that is very worthwhile. A true story that needs to be said more and more and more. Now, one thing I can say is that Lily Gladstone stole the fucking show. She stole it. With so many standout performances, the weight and gravitas that she walked around with in that film, you can't match it. You just can't match it. You cannot match it in no way, shape, or form. She was spectacular. And Robert De Niro, he was amazing. That's one of his best roles that we've saw within the past 10, 20 years. The amount of deception that he was on screen with, it had me at points believing, nah, he wasn't in on it. The motherfucker was cooking. And the fact that this film has been overlooked as much as it has is just baffling. And finally, at one with the best odds to win Best Picture, Oppenheimer. Who would have guessed it? There's not really a lot that you can say about this film. It checks literally every single box. Very important film that has never, if not really, been done before. Standout performances from everyone, including the goddamn janitor. A literal fucking nuke goes off on screen. Like, what more could you really ask for in a film? It has everything that you could possibly ever wish for. And that's why I think it wins in a landslide amongst a lot of other categories. Now getting to the picks. Best Director. Easily Christopher Nolan. There's no competition whatsoever about that. Best Supporting Actor. While most likely Robert Downey Jr. will win for his impactful role in Oppenheimer, I slightly disagree with that, and my dark horse to win would be Robert De Niro. I feel as though he puts in one of the best performances that we've saw in the past few years, and he's a worthwhile shout. Now, moving to Best Supporting Actress, I feel as though Divine Joy Randolph wins in a landslide. But if we did have to crown a second place or someone that we feel as though is extremely close, then Danielle Brooks from The Color Purple, she was mesmerizing. There was no other way to go about that. She stole the show in that movie, and I feel as though she deserves her flowers for what she did. Best Cinematography. As it stands right now, Oppenheimer is the favorite, but even though we literally saw a nuke go off on screen, I feel as though Poor Things, with this very interesting choice of cinematography, it's gonna be something that you either love or hate, and I feel as though it is provocative enough to be able to garner that award. In my opinion, I feel as though it should win Best Cinematography. Now, as we mentioned before, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Hair and Makeup, respectively, should go to American Fiction and Maestro. Those are maybe one of the few awards that those movies would win during this entire competition season. Moving forward to Best Actress, I feel as though this is a literal toss-up between Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone. Flip a coin to your own behest. Personally, I'm leaning towards Lily due to the weight and gravitas of her performance. I feel as though not only for an important sake, but also her vibe, dog. That at the end of the day, aura is what it's gonna come down to, and she has got that aura. You feel me? And last but certainly not least, Best Actor in a landslide. And I'm just so disgusted I didn't get it when I was at minus 450 odds. It's now at minus 8,000. Cillian Murphy to win Best Actor. I don't even think it's particularly close. There's one scene in specific from Oppenheimer that I feel as though won him the award. It's with him standing in the stadium talking to all the folks, and every now and then it just blinks and he sees the nuke going off on them. That motherfucker was that's real ball right there. That's real ball. From that moment on, there's no other alternative. Paul Giamatti, you were amazing. Coleman Domingo, I've only seen clips from Rustin, but dog, you was cooking too. Bradley Cooper, you may have spent 6 years preparing for Maestro, but dog, you paling in comparison to what Cillian did. That nigga was cooking. Jeffrey Wright, I'm sorry, I love you, but Cillian, he was in the kitchen. He was in the kitchen whipping up some shit. You feel me? Man. Okay. That does it. that is all of my worthwhile picks for the Oscars. We can always come back to this video to see how correct I was. I know I'm gonna be pretty fucking correct, and that's typically how it goes. But while I do still have you here, click right here to subscribe. Click right here to watch the most recent video that I made, and click right here to watch something that they feel as though will be best for you. It might be some shit. It might not be some shit. Who knows? It's a leap of faith.